I just finished reading Star Wars: The Secret of the Clone Troopers, and I absolutely adored this book. So this book is basically like an informative guide about how the clone troopers came to be, how they found Jango Fett, kind of the cloning process, all of that kind of information. And I think like if you're a Star Wars fan or a clone trooper girly like myself, some of that kind of informative stuff about like the armor, the kind of like ships they use, ranks, things like that, I think you'll already kind of have a pretty good grasp on, which, isn't a huge critique towards this book because it's, geared towards younger fans and newer fans, like children. So that information in this is easily digestible, that very like informative, timeline of like, here's how they came to be, here's the equipment used, history of the armor, all that kind of stuff. What really shines for me personally, already knowing a lot about the clone troopers, is the Rex perspective of this book because this is written from Rex's perspective. It's kind of like his informative guide that he is sharing with you personally. And I think that is the most unique aspect of this and what I really enjoyed about this book. I actually kind of teared up a little bit during the introduction and conclusion of this book because it really does go into his own personal thoughts and feelings about being a clone trooper, and that his whole purpose of existing is being a soldier to fight for the Republic, and then essentially watching that downfall and the rise of the Empire, and then not having a place in this world and kind of being tossed to the side and just trying to do what he can to help his siblings that he can reach, and on all the losses that he's had. I think that is the real powerful part of this book, and I absolutely adored it. I think when he talks about his brothers, and or well, not his brothers but his siblings, because he has sisters as well. When he talks about his siblings, that's the part of this book that really really shines through. So I highly recommend picking this up if you are into the clone troopers. I think this is a really good addition to your collection. I absolutely loved it. And if you have someone who's getting into Star Wars and their favorite thing is Clone Troopers as well, I would give this to them because I think this is a really good jumping off point to, get all that information on how they came to be and their purpose within the Republic. I think it's a great little informative guide, and it has, like I said, a little touch of Rex in it. So that part's really enjoyable. So I think old and new fans, you're going to get a lot out of this book.